Good evening, everyone. Charger Troller here from the partial mask wearing militant state of Michigan, where we have Gretchen Whitmer as our governor and our dictator. And if you don't believe me, well, just go ask Kelly Stafford. So remember in a time long ago, if you can remember back so far as the pre-pandemic era where people used to stand out in front of fast food places and scream, "We want $15 an hour and we want it now." Remember all those people that wanted that living wage? Well, right now, not only are they offering $15 an hour, they're giving you money to go in and just interview. So how come there's so many $15 an hour jobs available at this time? Well, of course, they're being paid to stay home. But that's going to change pretty quickly. The little extra money that you're being paid to stay home and avoid work is going to be over. And a lot of the, shall we say, unemployment benefits are going to be gone. So when they're gone and you have to go back to work, and there are many more people that are in the job market, how many of those $15 an hour jobs do you think are going to be available? I would say slim to none. Now, right now they have to pay people $15 an hour. They're not going to have to pay $15 an hour 6 months from now, which sort of is the next, to me, the next shoe to drop because of all this enhanced immunity project. And that's going to be, we've seemed to be almost accepting or have grown accustomed to being inconvenienced with long lines, especially like at fast food places, and just drive-thrus are open. So even when they open back up their dining rooms and stuff, there still could be long lines. Maybe not as long as what they are right now, but longer than usual because, well, they're not going to have to pay $15 an hour, and they really won't be able to afford to pay $15 an hour. Now, the people that signed up 3 or 4 months ago, or even almost a year ago, that were willing to work and being paid $15 an hour, they're not going to take a pay cut. They're not going to take a pay cut to keep working. So they're still going to continue to make the $15 an hour. And the people now that think that, well, if they're paying $15 an hour now, they'll pay $15 an hour 4 or 5 months down the road. Well, that's not going to happen. Or even if they do pay $15 an hour, they're going to be working with reduced staff, because they can't afford, if they needed 15 people before the immunity enhancement project, let's just say 20 people to run the restaurant. And then when the restrictions went in, they've been running on, say, 10 or 12 people at the higher rate of 15 an hour. When they can open back up with the 20, they're not going to be able to afford to pay 20 people $15 an hour. Certainly not full time. So you're going to get some sort of limited working schedules, maybe they'll just go with hiring 3 or 4 more people back and working at 75% capacity for $15 an hour, because you waited in line for 15 minutes and now you're going to wait in line for 8 minutes. And before it all, you really didn't have to wait at all, but you've grown accustomed to it, so you'll wait a few minutes anyway. So I really think these people that wanted the $15 an hour and they wanted it now, well, now would be the time to get that $15 an hour job. But I think in the end, you're going to see people that are going to be frustrated with work, because although some places will continue to pay $15 an hour, they can't afford a full work staff, or they're just not going to pay it anymore altogether. So if you wanted $15 an hour, now's the time to go out and get it. Hopefully, if you do get it, you'll be able to work a full-time schedule. But I think people are going to be in for a bit of a shock once things open back up, and how some of these entry-level jobs are going to be, hours are going to be divvied out. I think in the end they are going to start making less money than they would have had the restaurants been allowed to stay open normal business hours for their $10 or $12 an hour or whatever they were paying. So I think once again the people on the lower end of the spectrum are going to be the ones that are negatively affected the greatest. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good night.